Hey there, my name's Tracy from Randomness of Rudy, and in this video we're going to talk about Sagittarius the Archer in relationship with Taurus the Bull. This is a part of my YouTube series, The Sagittarius Experience, where I take a look at Sagittarius in a relationship with each sign of the zodiac. So if you haven't seen the first video I did where I go a bit more in depth on what it's actually like to date a Sagittarius, please go back and check that out. Sagittarius with Taurus is a tough match, and to be quite honest, even though this is generally speaking and looking at sun sign compatibility, I'm not quite sure that this match could go the distance. Of course, it will depend on other elements in your chart, but I don't see this match very often, and while I'm sure there will be an initial attraction, especially on the part of Taurus, when it comes to long-term stability and compatibility and commitment, this is going to be a tricky one. Taurus as an earth sign is very practical, very grounded, and lives this safe life of comfort, okay? And of course, Sagittarius is going to come flying into Taurus the Bull's life, and Taurus is going to be like, what was that? And I want to know more about it. And so that will be the initial attraction. Sagittarius brings a lot of energy and activity to this relationship, and Taurus will appreciate this. However, unless you start off as friends first, when it comes to long-term stability and long-term commitment, which is something that Taurus needs and craves, it may be difficult to find that between these two zodiac signs. As I said in the beginning video, Sagittarius can commit, but Sagittarius requires a long leash. Sagittarius doesn't like routine. Sagittarius doesn't like the tried and true. Sagittarius doesn't want to, stick to the norm and be kind of relegated to his or her local environment. Sagittarius, in other words, needs to explore and step outside of his box or her box. And Taurus, in the meantime, likes the box. There's comfort in that box. Taurus knows what to expect in that box. And that's not to say that Taurus wouldn't be open to worldly pursuits and expansion, but it is to say that when it comes to long-term relationship building, Taurus needs stability, and Taurus needs steadiness and comfort and a sense of knowing that this relationship is it, okay? The other thing has to do with your mode of operation. Taurus is very fixed, very stubborn, and can be somewhat rigid. And as I've said, needs structure and likes things to be a certain way. Sagittarius is totally adaptable. Sagittarius doesn't need rules, doesn't need anything in place. Sagittarius just needs a compass and a book on existentialism. That's it. And so, in other words, while Taurus could benefit from the flexibility that Sagittarius brings to this relationship, and Sagittarius can benefit from the consistency that Taurus brings to this relationship, again, when we're looking at long term, your temperaments are just very different. And so that could be something else that makes this a difficult match from the get-go. As far as sexual compatibility, Taurus will definitely bring the passion to the table, and Sagittarius will certainly benefit. Taurus is an energy that operates in the realm of the senses, and Taurus genuinely loves making love. And I think Sagittarius will appreciate this, and I think Sagittarius will also appreciate the fact that Taurus, can go for quite a long time in the bedroom. And so Sagittarius, being this action, active, fiery energy, will be able to keep up with this and enjoy it. I think both signs will be surprised with how much they enjoy lovemaking, but nevertheless, sexually speaking, it's a good match, sexually speaking. As far as your disagreements go, Sagittarius, if Sagittarius disagrees with you, he or she will vocalize that. He or she will express his or herself, and then be done with it and move on. Taurus either won't bring it up because it takes a lot to get Taurus to that point where he or she is upset, or will just dismiss it altogether. And the thing about this is when Taurus doesn't express a grievance, it builds and it escalates, and then it just goes out of control. And Sagittarius is not going to know where that came from. And it may very well be something that scares Sagittarius away. Sagittarius doesn't necessarily want to deal with that kind of explosion in temper, okay? So Taurus, for you, it would behoove you to really say what's on your mind if you're upset about it, and say it from the beginning. Don't let it fester, because what will happen is you'll get really upset and your Sagittarius won't know what hit him or her, and then that'll be it. okay? Meanwhile, Sagittarius, if you happen to notice that your Taurus is feeling some type of way, is feeling down, try and come back to the homeland and work on it and show some consideration there. I know that you don't have time because, there are places to explore and new foods to try and new languages to learn. But if you're in a relationship with a Taurus and you want to be in a relationship with a Taurus, you're going to have to be mindful of your Taurus's feelings, okay? So, like I said, this is a tough match. It's a tough match to go the distance. My advice would be to start off as friends first, which is good in any relationship, but particularly in this one. And if you're able to commit to one another and put forth the effort that's required, there's no reason why this match couldn't go the distance. If you want more information, feel free to visit my website at randomnessofrudy.com.